What's up everybody, the Pond Professor here. I am just outside of Omaha, Nebraska. We are starting a massive project right now. It is going to be a beautiful recreational pond. We're going to try to bring this big old stump out of here, this log. First rock strapped. Always love this moment. Liner is in. Get a good fish, get gravity going with us. Boom, there it is, nice. Hey, what's up everybody? The Pond Professor here. I am just outside of Omaha, Nebraska, and it is October. Winter's here. We are starting a massive project right now. We just had our locate guy coming out to locate power as well as gas lines because we're starting excavation today. I think it's going to start warming up at least by the end of tomorrow, I'm hoping, so we could actually get a lot of work done. But we got to get this project completed before winter actually truly hits. Let me give you a walkthrough of what we're doing. What we have here is going to be a beautiful recreational pond. We have an existing patio and fire pit and everything over in this section. We also have beautiful tree house over in here. The idea is to create a big waterfall to kind of screen off some of this stuff over here. So we're going to take all the soil that we dig from the pond, reutilize it, build up a big mound over here to have some incredible waterfalls that are going to be visible from the main home. Pond's about 37 feet wide. Wetland filter is going to be located back over in this section. So we have a beautiful topography to work with. We have a gentle slope. Back over here we got this little bit of a rise on the back edge of the property. That's going to help us out a lot. So we got this flat area over on this section where that tree house is located around those existing trees. We're going to try to utilize some of that and build up some more soil in and around this area. Main pond going to be tucked in right over here. Eventually going to be a gazebo structure right over here. We will be putting in a wooden structure just to house the gazebo and everything on top of it. Wetland filter tucked over in here. Reason I'm positioning it there, kind of out of the way, but it's also very nice and sunny, so we want to try to get a little bit of sun for our aquatic plantings. This wetland filter will be raised up 2.5–3 feet above normal water level of the pond. Going to be a bridge crossing right over in here where we go from this fire pit area over having access to the treehouse. Some of our materials have already arrived. We have some of our rolls of fabric over here, some of the heavy duty stuff as well as the standard fabrics. So these are the geotextiles that we're going to use to line the actual ponds themselves and protect everything. Pumps are going to be located back corner over here. Heavy equipment arrived. It's located way down over there on the road because the roads are slippery, icy right now. Can't get the truck up in this area, so we are going to have to shuffle things individually. Jay just went to go get our liner roll, which was delivered last week. Once this skid steer is up here, we're going to bring the excavator up, and then we got to kind of create a little bit of a better road in here. This is going to be our staging area. It's a 50 by 100 roll, but all of our materials have to be staged in this area. Again, when we're looking at a job site like this, we're always looking at our access points. So a product of this scale, what do we have access to for heavy equipment? Where can we put all of our rock, all of our gravel, all of the materials that we're going to be working with? Shift over to the pond. We just laid that out. I'm going to walk through that with you, and we're going to start excavation. I'm going to start down here at the bottom. Pumps are going to be located kind of in this corner here. This pool is about 20 foot wide. Going to have a little bit of a beach entry coming in this section. Bridge kind of cutting across. You can see a little dash line right in here. So this will be a big slab bridge over in this section. Wetland way out over here. We are ready to start excavation as soon as Jay brings the equipment up the hill. Creating a little bit of a roadway to get in. So right now, because of that slope, it'll be challenging to bring all the equipment through there, all the rocks and everything. So what we want to do is kind of level out an area. We have a nice even pad to work with so we can bring all of our stone and gravel into position. Beginning of the project, everything's laid out, utilities marked, we are ready to start. There's always going to be stuff underground, especially the bigger the project gets, the more things you're going to find. So of course, first thing we do is we're going to find the irrigation. So we got main line, We got our wire over here for the controls. So thankfully, it's right on the edge. We'll be able to peel that back, should be able to reconnect all that type of stuff. All these other lines will be eliminated because they were underneath the pond. But the bigger problem is this guy right here. So there is a clean out here for the septic. This is a line that is coming from a restroom located in the workshop over here. And then it turns and it goes to another location over here. That could start becoming an issue. I'm going to shoot the bottom of that with our laser transit to see what elevation the bottom of that pipe is, so I could determine exactly where it would be. We could then gently excavate everything. The good thing is this is going to keep getting deeper and deeper as it goes that way, just because of the gravity flow. So we're just going to have to dig carefully, because the last thing I want to do is reroute a septic line. The whole area right where Jay is digging right now, that's going to be under the bridge, relatively shallow, 12 inches. So fast moving water going through there. Then it's going to deepen up on the other side where the pumps will be. Then we'll come back over here, take all of this down to about 2.5 feet, so about 30 inches or so is kind of what we're looking for. And then we'll start coming in with our deeper pockets to make this connection from this dock area all the way to that other section where the waterfall is going to be back over on this side over here. This is a great project for us because we have a lot of flexibility, and they have the room for us to design according to the site, which is really nice. So we can kind of manipulate the grades. We could build up, we could dig things down in other areas. It's actually working out really well. First load, it's always a good sign. We got a great selection here. We got a good mix of weathered limestone as well as the mossy boulders, which is a sandstone based rock. It's going to be a beautiful day today. We got everything kind of roughed in yesterday just to start getting our elevations. Now today we are going to start fine tuning. This is going to be our intake bay. This is going to be approximately 2 feet deep over on this side. Going to have a beach coming down over on this, and then we're going to have our aqua blocks located right in the corner. We're going to raise the water level a little bit off of this side, and then over here we'll end up cutting back into that hillside a little bit to make it all work for us. Jay is down below unloading trucks, and he's going to start generating more soil for us. We are probably not going to have enough soil to build up this waterfall the way I want it. So I really want to have a nice big dramatic waterfall coming in this section. We want to build this entire area up, create a nice pool of water, big dramatic waterfall up here on the top. And then also remember, this is really important, we're trying to screen off any potential development that's going to be happening behind them. So what we want to do is make sure that we can create a big berm, and then we can get some plants on top of it, just from a little design perspective, so the view from the house. I'm looking straight across right into this hillside. By building that up 6 or 8 feet, it's well above my sight line. Now if I come in and just bring in some 4 to 6 foot trees or shrubs in there, it will block all of that view. And it's because we're looking up. Again, it's just some of these simple little philosophies and concepts go a long way. The other thing I want to do is right in between our wetland filter. So here's our wetland filter. I want to have a large berm in here. So I want to have a nice big lush planting bed separating this marshy area from the upper pool and waterfall. And then we're going to have that beautiful little seating area located right in this section. Now it's just up to us to kind of come in, start excavating, carving, sculpting the soil to create the desired effects that we're looking for. Once we get all of our excavation done, our liner in place, we're going to start placing some of that stone later this week. Shallow area established. We're going to get a little bit of river rock in here, so we should be 13-14 inches of water. We're going to have a stone slab going across here, and if someone were to step off of it, I don't want them going into deep water. One section over here, it's going to be a little bit deeper. It's going to be for our aqua blocks and our pump vaults. We are going to cut a ledge back over into here, kind of recess everything into the back. Brad is now working on getting the bottom of the pond dug. Jay is moving soil from the staging area back on the other side of this little hill. We got to build this all up. You see where this elevation is right at the base of this treehouse? That's going to kind of go smooth straight across through that whole area. It's going to be a pond up in there. A lot of stuff happening this morning. Excavation, shuffling soil, getting our elevations, and then Nick is set up in the workshop. He is building some of the aqua blocks, which are going to be used for our pump vault as well as for the filtering system inside of our wetland filter. What Jay's doing right now is bringing up this elevation just a little bit. So that's the actual water level. So I want to make sure that I have 6 to 8 inches of liner above that location. Soil that we're working with here, really nice stuff. Sandy clay, loam, so really nice material. Compacts really well, easy for excavation. It's going to be really good for us to work with for our edging along the perimeter as well. Again, it's those little things that really make a big difference. You don't think about that much, you know, when you're talking about excavation. There are a lot of different soils out there, and some of them are better to work with than others. This one is exceptional. We're getting down to the fine details of the excavation. We want to widen this up just a little bit. This is going to be the area where the waterfall from the wetland filter enters the pond. We have to make this a little bit smoother, and that's because there's going to be a series of stepping stones kind of crossing through here. The reason we're doing that is we're going to have that little gazebo structure over here. For someone to get around, you have 2 options. You can go across the bridge, which is right here where the excavator bucket is working right now, or you have to walk all the way around the far end of the wetland and go all the way that way. So if we do stepping stones, you can kind of bisect your way across, have access right through this little planting bed to get across to the other side. Hopefully we will have a liner in by the end of the day today or first thing tomorrow morning. That will allow us to start setting rocks. Once we get ahead on some of the stone, I will come back over here and start excavation of the wetland. So we found this log. Well, actually I saw it when we were just driving in. This tree came down a few years ago in a big storm. It's just been sitting here. Brush is growing up around it. We're going to try to bring this big old stump out of here, this log. Now this is all oak. It's a little bit hollowed out over on this side, but it's solid. It is a beautiful piece. I think it'll be a perfect addition for this pond. All right, liner's going in, 50 by 100, right down the middle. Get a good push, get gravity going with us. Boom, there it is, nice. So we got a couple straps going through our liner roll that weighs almost 1,800 pounds, but this is a really steep wall. We're having trouble getting it up there. So we're gonna hook up one end to the excavator. We got the other end over here on the skid steer. We're gonna try to just lift that whole thing up and then move it forward, and then we can just kind of work our way. Once we get up here, we're in good shape. We should be able to push it the rest of the way. Looks like we're twisting a little bit. First rock strapped. Always love this moment. Liner is in. So we're going to drop this first rock right over here. It's going to be in a key viewing area. It's also going to create a little bit of a planting edge. Most important rock of the entire project. First and the last. So once that one's in, it's going to tell us what we need to do on either side. We made some good progress here today. Started getting some of the big rocks in over on this back side. We got some over here in the foreground, getting up to the appropriate elevation. We got our heavy fabric in place, which is going to keep everything good and safe. Even though we have really nice subsoil to work with, we're always trying to add that extra protection just to protect ourselves from any damage to the liner. We got our aqua blocks in place. We got our pump vaults. This is going to be that intake bay. So this is creating that necessary suction going across the surface of the pond. So we will be setting a large flat stone down inside of here. We have a couple loads of stone coming tomorrow. Other things that we'll probably be working on is we have all of our stuff ready over here for pouring concrete. Put more heavy fabric all through this section. So far so good. Everything's looking really, really good.